I do it. Right, I'm just on my tablet here, guys, trying to get the stream chat up. So I'm sorry if you are commenting for a minute. I'm just not going to see it. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Live. And there's the chat. And it looks like one person here, which is me, so good. Right, let's turn that down because we don't want to hear me twice. It's bad enough hearing me once, let alone twice. So if anyone is popping up, I don't know what to do with the tablet, guys. Well, I can put that where it's not distracting for you. Is that going to be distracting for you guys there? That'd be alright, wouldn't it? It'd be alright. Ah, looks like there's someone there. I don't know who it is out there, but hello. How are you doing? I am airing down the Thermonders. So it's my first time using the Thermonders. And I have been out with the Batrazzi Precipice on Ellie the Element. And it didn't go very well. And I'm not throwing the Precipice under the bus just yet, because it felt like this was too firm. And I know these silicone inserts do soften up over time, but I'm impatient. I kind of want to know what the tyre's doing now. So I'm giving them a cut one, miss one. I don't know if you can see that. A cut one, miss one. Yeah, so there we are. If whoever that is out there, if you could let me know whether you can hear me all right, that would really, really help me out. And yeah, let me know how your days being. It's a weekend. I don't know whether that matters to you or not, but thank goodness for the weekend. Unless you work at the weekend, then thank goodness for the other days. So they seem to work pretty well in certain circumstances, but Ellie's pretty light at the moment. I'm imagining once Ellie's got a bit of oomph, a bit of weight behind her, then she probably would be okay on these inserts and these tyres, if indeed they do work. I think, and I'm not alone in thinking this, that this compound is the same. These are the Louise Champs over the back here. They have a very similar feel. I mean, these are brand new, so they're very tacky, but they have a similar feel. I don't know if they're the same, so that'll be an interesting find. Who out there is watching the Crawler Canyon live tonight? I can tell you, unless my child and my lovely girlfriend have got my lovely fiance. It sounds very childish, doesn't it, if I say girlfriend? My lovely partner, fiance, soulmate, unless they have other plans for me, which they do sometimes, I'm going to be watching the live stream tonight, see what Mr. C's up to. He's been doing a load of coursework, and the new obstacle is all but finished, I believe. So that'd be a welcome addition. Not that I was getting bored with seeing the same things, but it's definitely going to be nice to see a bit of variety in there. And not that there isn't variety, because there is. Do you know, it's only a matter of time, guys. before I cut one, miss one, miss one, cut one, or before I cut one, miss one, and like multitasking, streaming and doing it, it's inevitable, isn't it? But fortunately, silicone inserts aren't the most expensive things to buy. If I can't get these to work, I'm going to be trying the Broadbar C's, which are in these. These have got a really lovely air down in them and very, very good sidewall stability. Oh, we're done. I'll just make sure I do believe we're done. That one's done, guys. So let's get it built back up. The tyre pattern on the Batrazzi is asymmetrical, so it doesn't matter if you run it this way or this way, and the verbiage and stuff is all the same, so it also doesn't matter which way you run it round. So let's get this one built back up, and we'll do the other side. Now I don't know whether I might just go soft on the front. No, I'm not. I'm going to go soft around because they did feel... Do you know, it might be the carcass on this tyre that's causing the problem. They are not ribbed or belted. But... No, yeah, that does feel better. That does feel better. So what do you think? Do you think I should cut one, miss one on the back and turn it into a much softer insert, or do you think I should leave the back slightly firmer, because when the rig is up on a climb like so, it transfers all of the weight of the vehicle onto the rear tyre? But as I'm saying that, I feel like I've got the answer, because when I was out with Rui from Rui's RC Adventures the other day, I was regularly almost, vertical, and I'm pretty sure there was just absolute zero give in the rear tyre on this. So I am going to cut them, guys. I'm wondering, maybe I didn't cut enough in the front. Maybe I should have cut one, missed one on the outer ring and the next ring. But we can always pull them apart and go, like, you can always cut an extra one, can't you, if it's not quite soft enough. Whereas if I cut too many, there's no going back, is there? So let's just see how it goes with it like that, and then I will do another live stream where we can have a chat. Hello, if you've joined us. I see another person. How are you? Yeah, I can always do another one, can't I? And I'll snip a few more out. And at some point, the Louise Champs that are on Spidey will be going on this truck as well for a little run. And we'll see how the Broadbar C inserts and the Louise Champs do on that as well. See a few people coming in and out there. Someone's still watching. How are you doing? If you're unable to chat, that's absolutely fine. I do appreciate you being there, even if you can't type or write me a message or anything. It's all good. And as I say that, the person who was watching left. I mean, I get it. This isn't the most interesting stream to be watching at the best of times, let alone when I'm just building a beadlock. I'm sure most of the people that tune in here are familiar with the procedure of building a beadlock. Hello, if you've just joined. How are you? Oh, 888 subscribers. The channel's just clicked over to 888. Wow. There's 888 people that thought my channel was interesting enough that they might want to come back and see something once again. That is incredible. It just shows you how big the planet is, I suppose. That there's 888 people that find me interesting, or what I do interesting. Sorry, just trying to keep that in shot. How are you doing today? What have you been up to? I've been editing for a friend. I did a thumbnail for a friend of mine. I've been doing a bit of editing and contemplating life as we know it, or as I know it, because I think life's experiences are subjective, and depending on who you are, your perception of life may be different. So yeah, I've been pondering life as I know it. So I can already see when I drop that down onto the bench now that we're getting a little bit of squish, which is great, because if I transfer it to the other side, how can I do this on camera? I'm just waiting for the stream to catch up. I'm just gonna try to squeeze it the same amount so it doesn't feel terrible on the shoulder on the bench. But this is the one that I've just cut. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, that is not difficult to feel the difference. You know, the bench feel is really different. So we're going to continue to do our air down tactic, which means you end up with a lot of pieces of silicone. Now, you know, how could I use those? I suppose I could maybe use them for shims. Could you use it for a shim, maybe? Trying to think of anything else I could use it for. I suppose if I could maybe use my hole punch. No, I don't know. If you've got any ideas what I could use those for, that would be awesome. Over here, so I don't know whether you know, but I put the Mears axles on the Spider-Man build, and the what am I trying to say? The stub axles, it's not the stub axles, the hexes have been anodized to the point where you can't put a wheel on and off very easily. And Mr. Canyon said to me, just get some sandpaper and get your hex on a piece of sandpaper and just do that with it until it fits properly. And I went, yeah, but I could get some brass. So I ordered brass, and then I tried to fit the brass, and then the brass didn't fit. So Mr. Canyon was right. I then changed back to Mr. Canyon's idea, and I sanded them all down, and now they fit. And granted, that's not ideal, but it did work. And as a bonus, the element really does need some brass. The one thing lacking from this model is weight. It really does need some extra weight up front, and I know these aren't going to make like a measurable, well, maybe it is measurable, but they're not going to make a huge difference. But I feel better knowing that the brass hasn't gone to waste, and you know there is a little bit more weight up the front on this now. So as I go through these, I will be popping those in. Right, let's get this apart. 5 people in the chat. Nobody said hello yet. How are you guys? What have you been up to today? If it's interesting. I mean, even if it isn't interesting, you just feel like you want to get something off your chest or whatever, I'm here for you. I'm planning. So I've been to Wales. You might have seen the video. I took LED Element to Wales, and she did very well. Really, really pleased. You did pretty good in Wales, mate. There was some pretty difficult stuff out there. One thing that I hadn't really thought about this. So both these motors were out at the time, and I put the 1200 in a portal and the 2300 in a straight axle. And I think the ideal motor for a portal with the same gearing as Spidey's got is about an 1800. I think that's like the sweet spot. But there's a 1200 in there. So I haven't wheeled Spidey apart from just in the in the studio quickly. And having driven Ellie in Wales on straight axles with a 2300, she's a bit spicy. like rock bouncer, like I want to do a little pop, just a little pop to get over stuff, and she's clearing the obstacle and landing the other side of it on all fours. So the 2300 is too spicy. So I don't know whether I'll be doing it now, but I'm definitely going to be taking the 2300 out of here, and that's going to go in the Spidey the port rig behind you, which has not had its full review. So if you're or reveal, should I say, if you're in the chat and you're watching now and you hadn't already previously seen it in one of my posts, then you are one of the few that have actually seen. I'll put the Batrazzi. Do you know, I've got high hopes for these because I feel like it might be the same compound. I really like the look of the Batrazzi Precipice. I like the tread pattern. I like the side. I just really like this. So I really want it to work, which is why I'm doing the air down on the Famondos. Now, I did make the mistake of trimming my blues, the Endura blues, before breaking them in. And essentially what I did was create a set of greens that I'd got in the post and that were due to arrive shortly. So I ended up with essentially 2 pairs of greens, because as those blues broke in, I'm just making sure I'm not doing cut. Yeah, I buggered it. It's do you know what? I'm just going to refresh the chat, guys. I'm not quite sure how to do that. So at least you can see me tapping away furiously in the corner here. Is nobody? Has nobody talked? I can't believe no one spoke through the whole. Oh my goodness! 1654 people have been talking for 5 minutes. Owen, hello. Bouncing, hello. Right, now it's hello to everybody that said hello in the chat. Let me read the messages. I'm really sorry, guys. I don't know why my chat wasn't working, but it was. Right. Hashtag me too. Hey, mate. Dwight, not paying attention to the chat. No, it just wasn't showing for some reason, and you may well have been able to see that when I refreshed it. It's popped up. You want to enter 404 chat? Oh, well, I'd need much more room on the workbench. Yeah, no, I'm very tight for space here, Bouncing. I'm not a fan of tight spaces, unless they got hair around them. Oh, that's awful. Yeah, anyway, moving on. I would like a lot more space. I am a little bit claustrophobic. Yeah, so I would like a bit more room. But do you know what? I'm making it work. I could find you on Messenger 404 chat. What's your name? Nope. I hate Facebook. Yeah. We meet again in an hour. Well, that's what I thought. I thought I'd jump on and do a pre-stream stream. Because I'm literally on a Friday, my day consists of sitting around waiting for Mr. C to start, pretty much. Obviously, taking care of my baby sperm and stuff. But yeah, I'm pretty much doing the same. I'm waiting for Mr. C. So I thought, you know what? We've been out with this. These Batrazzi's looked fantastic, failing. They just, I don't know whether the carcass is a bit on the thick. Do you know the carcass does feel a little bit on the thick side? My old MacBook Pro is slowing down extremely while Facebook is running the browser, so that, yeah, look, you can tell Bouncing is a music producer, because all the music producers I know have got an old, well, not all of them, some of them have got loads of money, but most of them have got an old MacBook running the music stuff. Superb creations, all the Macs. So I used to edit on a Mac for years, and then it started to not update because it was an older version. The Apple getting you to buy the new thing, whether you can afford it or not. And I went, well, fuck you, Apple. I'm gonna build a PC, and I did. I built my first PC. And I've never looked back. Although I really do miss. Hi Osborne, how are you? Yeah, I really do miss editing in Final Cut Pro. I had a ton of plugins that I'd paid a lot of money for over the years, and all of a sudden I went from looking like a really, really snazzy editor to someone who just about knew the basics. But we're getting there now. I've been editing in Final Cut for about 5 or 6 years. So we do okay, I guess. I mean, you lot would be a better judge of that than me. Because your YouTube name is so long to type. I'm doing good, just at work. Tuning in. Oh, well, I really appreciate that, Osborne. Sincerely appreciate that. This is not a job that I mind doing, but I do find it incredibly boring. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to chuck a live stream up. We can chat about how I broke the internet with my latest video and upset thousands of people all in the same swoop. I'm not sure if you're aware, but I made a video about the Alalo MK7, and people either love the video or hate me. It's a bit like the Red Cat Army thing that the doc went through recently. I have upset a lot of people, but Fair RC have reached out to me last night, and the CEO of Alalo has messaged me today, and we've been chatting, and he said that he realises their company's dropped the ball a little bit with regards to customer services, and he promises me that it is something that they take very seriously. I think he was sort of saying that they got more popular more quickly than they were geared up for, and it did cause some issues. And I think there's a possibility that one of those MK07s could be coming to the channel. They are that confident that it is a really good truck, and that it's different enough from the Bronx, which I compared it to. For me, but for it to be worth me taking a look at and maybe reconsidering the video that I put up. I mean, I'm not. I said to him I won't delete the video because it was just an opinion piece, and at the time that was my opinion. I'd made my opinion based on a ton of views, you know, I'd watched a load of reviews. I mean, I'd skipped all the everything's brilliant channels, but you know, I watched some reviews of people that I thought that would give it a fair shake and give you enough footage. I mean, that's a reviewer's job, really, is to maybe point out the features that they think are good, the things that aren't, and then show you enough for you to make your own opinion. Good afternoon, because you James Farmer. Good. Hey Dwight, pay attention to us. I am paying attention, aren't I? I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, no, I've mentioned it all. So there you go. Yeah, we might see that. I am sorry if it appears that I wasn't paying attention to you, Owen. Obviously, your needs surpass everything else, and are far more important than anything else I'm doing or thinking about. So please forgive me if I left you feeling that way. Oh God. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm just doing this, and I thought I'd chuck the stream on because I don't like doing it on my own, really. I'm in the same boat as Mr. Canyon. I have nobody here to talk to about this stuff. The minute I lift my phone towards my partner, or to wave a part in her face, her eyes roll, and it like she's really happy for me that I'm happy, but she also isn't really interested. I'm just checking the chat again to make sure that I'm not upsetting you guys by missing chat. So does anybody know what Crawler Canyon's working on tonight? I'm always the last person to find out what Mr. C is doing that day, and sometimes I've been watching the stream for an hour. Still don't know what's going on. There'll just be a pile of RC parts in front of him, and yeah, I'm none the wiser as to what they are, what they're doing, where they're going. I don't know why I tightened those right down. That was poor form. Multitasking, obviously, not something I'm very good at. There we go. Has chat stopped working, guys, or are you just all spannering and busy, unable to write anything? It's hard to know. It's hard to know. Those tyres do feel a lot better with the air down, for definite. So, question: should I air down the rears? Oh, hey, RCOCM, how are you? Thank you very much for popping in to see what's going on. I am just adjusting. The Bratrazzis have been out on Ellie the Element. We took Ellie out for a trip around the woods on the Bratrazzis, and it was a bit wet in there. Ian. Hello, Ian. Yeah, so we took the Bratrazzis out, and straight away my buddy Rui said those inserts are too firm, and I said it's okay, Rui, they're silicons. By the time I've put a battery through them or so, they'll have broken in, because these do. I was saying earlier on in the stream that I had these fitted, or I had the Endurers fitted, and I cut them like this before they'd broken in, and I actually made them a little bit too soft for what I wanted. But I did put a whole battery through, and the silicon on these feels a little bit firmer on looser. That's sorry. The stream didn't break. I just span out for a little bit. Um, that's my partner's name, Lisa. My partner's name is Lisa. Um, what are the chances of that? So it's nice that there's. I mean, I'm assuming you're a female. It's nice to have some females in the hobby. Did not see that coming. Like when I was growing up, boys with cars, girls with dolls. I did not see that. All my rigs are too small for silicone. Really? How small are your rigs, Ian? Because I can't get my hand to it right now. I'm sorry if you can hear all the dog barking outside. Let me close the window. It's funny. It's funny. Oh dear. Oh dear. We hang the camera. It's funny, you know, the lady that's just walked past with that dog making a lot of noise. I don't know if you can hear me over there, but she is the estate where my partner lives. She's the noisiest person on the estate, and her dog's also obnoxious and noisy. So this is the 18th scale. Look how soft and squishy they are. This is the 18th scale. Very confusing, I know, but I did that because I did a load of studio shots and I didn't want them to be able to use them for nothing. This is the CR18P Evo brushless, the brushless version, and these are lovely, very squishy. So DJ Crawler do some for theirs. Laser must hot. So I don't know whether you know, but this has got the same silicone inserts in here. These are the yellows, which are the super soft from Endura. This is the 1 inch tyre, and they also do them for the 1.2s and the 1.3s. So maybe you weren't aware. I don't know, but anyway, I just thought I'd bring that. I love this truck. And it needs a load of weight. It could do with brass axles or at least brass diff covers and other brass bits left, right, and centre. But I do like it. The suspension really needs some work as well, but we'll get to that. I think that vehicle's got a lot of potential. Moving forward, right? I have forgot to drink, so I must hydrate. My blood pressure is terrible in a minute, so. Right, now we're hydrated. We should be better now. Thanks for the knowledge. You're very welcome, Ian. I absolutely 100% will apologise now if you come in the stream and I forgot your name, because I deal with a lot of people daily and remembering all the names is not easy. But I promise, Ian, I will try to remember. But yeah, you're welcome. If you go on the Endura website, I think they're less than £15. They're like £13, and I ordered them and they was here within 10 days direct from Endura. So hopefully that helps you. Right, yeah, just making sure I caught up with the chat. Right, so they've got a little bit more squish. They still feel really firm. Is it the Batrazzi? Is it the carcass? Oh no, they do. They feel. Oh, they feel way better. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm doing the right thing. But do you know, these are so cheap, guys. I'm going to air down the backs as well, because that's a great shot of my hand there, isn't it? They were just too firm, and it made me feel a little bit down about the Batrazzis, because I think Like, I wouldn't put these on something that I really wanted to crawl, like, exceptionally. But I really fancied having something quite capable on a nice scale rig. That's where I had these eyeballed for, and that's how I think these are for. Like, you know, the FCX 10 or something like that. That's the kind of, this is where I'd be recommending these for, probably something along those lines. Oh, I will do, Lisa. I will do. Yeah. Should I refer to you as Lisa now I know your name? Like I say, I can't promise I'll remember everybody's, but I should be able to remember yours, as it's my fiance's name. Sounds like a little dog. Yes, it is. It is a very little dog, and the lady that owns the dog isn't very big, and she's often very, very drunk. Well, she's always very. Let's be honest, she's always very, very drunk and very, very loud. What size rim are they? These are a 1.9, and the ones that I showed you, the brass wheels that I showed you on the little CR18 Pro Evo brushless, they need to work on that. It's a big long name, isn't it? They were 1.0, so they're 1 inch, and these are 1.9. Yeah, these are 1.9 by, I think, by 30, 32, something like that. 36, something along those lines. I mean, I have a vernier caliper here. Is it called a vernier caliper? I do have a caliper, so I should have washed these, really, shouldn't I, when I got home? You know what? Now it's not so muddy. It's more or less just dirt. When I get home, I don't feel like I really should be washing the truck, because the less it gets wet, the better. I'm desperate for some comp pins in 155. You know what? I've just ordered a set of their new comp pins, and I haven't got a device I can look it up on. But if someone is in the chat, you could for me that, and you could for me, that'd be great. Endura. So somewhere here, right, here we go. Here, this is the 1.9, is it? The 125 by 35. Sorry, the 120 by 35. I love these, and these have absolutely killed some of the lines that I struggle with normally with everything else. But they've just dropped another version with a much nicer typeface that is a 108, I want to say. I think they're a 108, and they're in the post. I will be testing them when they come to the channel, when they arrive. Brian, hi mate, how you doing, Brian? I just did the first drive of the Zool 2 ESO motor. weren't as hot garbage as I'd thought. No drag broke though. In my video talking about the LED element here, I really wanted to hate the ESC motor in this, because I'd seen so much content appearing saying how rubbish it was, and I kind of felt the same, Brian. I wasn't as disappointed as I'd expected to be, but I mean, you know, if you switch over to even a 1200 SE or something, it's gonna make a bundle of difference, isn't it? This, I was just saying earlier in the stream, I've got the 2300 in here, the Fusion Pro. It's too spicy, Brian. On the rocks in that video in Wales, I was hitting the throttle. I've got some clips of me leaping over obstacles. I mean, cleanly leaping over the obstacle. But yeah, I just wanted a little pop for a ledge, and you just, you know, if the tyres hooked up, which those comp pins were, it was just launching me. So I'm going to put the 1200 in here, and I'm going to put the 2300 in Spidey, which I've just built, haven't I? And he hasn't been wheeled yet, but I do feel like a 2300 will suit the portal. I think you get away with an 1800 in that, but I've got it, and I don't have anywhere else to put it, so that's what I'm going to do. 108 on 1.9 will work for me. I look forward to seeing them when they arrive. Yeah, I'm going to get straight out with them. You know, God willing, I'm going to get straight out with them, Ian, and I will give them a really good testing. I will try to take them to rocks, and I'll throw them on a few trees in the woods. I'll try to get to a variety of different types of terrain, because I know not everybody's got rocks, not everybody's got woods. Well, if it becomes a pre-runner, speed is needed. Brian, what are you going to do with the Zool body? I really like that Zool body. When I bought the Ecto, I was impatient. What I should have done was just sold the scratch and sniff body that comes with Ellie, and I should have sold it before touching it, and then just put that money towards buying the Zool body, and then I could have had the Gatekeeper type chassis, which the Element is, with the Zool body. So, you know, for all intents and purposes, it would have felt like having the Zool without the IFS2. Awesome. That's what these tyres are for. Yeah, I totally agree. I hope the Batrazzi will work now. I really hope so, Erwin. I really like the tread pattern. I think they look great on the truck. And the doc said about it as well that the compound feels so similar to the Louise Champs, and I know deep woods work in the woods around where I live, because I've got a buddy who runs them, so it would be nice if I can have something that works as well as a deep wood that isn't a deep wood. Just, you know, nothing against the deep wood, I like to be different. And I'm definitely different. Nobody can accuse me of being the same as everybody else. A Chihuahua and a Chihuahua Jack Russell mix in our house sounded so familiar. I'm surprised it didn't start your one off, actually, Lisa, because I could hear my dog. So we've got a Jack Russell cross, pug in our kitchen, and she sat out there waiting for her mummy to get back, and she's waiting for me to finish streaming, so I'll take her out for a nice walk. But she is the most noisy dog there is. She can't do anything quietly. Like, literally, if you tickle her back, she makes loads of noise like a pig. Got to go watch a film with the kids, so catch you again. Thanks very much for popping in, Ian. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy your time with the little ones watching a film. Does the compound feel the same? Yes, Erwin. Not now, it doesn't. So the squish, like if I pinch one of the lugs, it feels like it's got the same amount of resistance. And when they were fresh out of the packet, they did feel almost exactly the same. I'm not sure they were exactly the same, but I'm confident in saying they were almost exactly the same. And it could be that one of the packaging, like I used to make fishing bait, and we used to douse our our bait before sealing the packet, and if you opened our bait and opened somebody else's bait, even if they had the same ingredients, ours would always smell better. And I do believe they worked a little bit better while they were fresh because of it, but essentially they were the same thing. So maybe there's some sort of preparation that they spray on these so that when a would-be Louise Champ purchaser opens their purchase for the first time, they're greeted with a very, very sticky feeling tire, which is desirable, and maybe adds a little placebo. They're like, oh, these are definitely going to work. Maybe then there's some sort of self-fulfilling prophecy stuff going on. I really like the wall of these, the side wall. They feel a little bit odd. They feel a little, or they look, I should say, they look a little bit odd on the bead. When I've done this one, I'll show you what I mean. Oh, no problem, Ian. Have a good one, bud. I don't know if I can do it before I actually mount them, but let's get these sat nicely. So they've got like a strange chamfer. They sort of dip in, almost like the bit of flab in front of a lady's garden. I don't know how to explain it any other way. So they've got like the entrance to a cave. Oh God, I'm saying the entrance to a cave and lady parts in the same sentence. I'm really sorry, I've got Asperger's, guys. I kind of just say what comes out, or what the first thing that comes into my mind. I guess that gives you a little bit of an insight into what goes into my mind. That's close to paranoia. What's close to paranoia? I mean, I might be paranoid. Oh, that farting noise isn't me, by the way. I've just changed the notification sound on my phone, which I thought was hilarious, because every time my phone goes off for the 404 chat now, it makes a little fart noise. And then Lisa asked me to go to the shop, and I was stood in the queue behind about 4 people, and the phone started going off. Someone must have been chatting away on the 404, and it kept making this fart noise. And the lady turned around and looked at me with such disgust, and I was just about to say, oh, I'm really sorry, it's my phone notification. And she just shook her head at me with a disgusted look on her face and then walked off. Oh my goodness, so embarrassing. So I said later I'm going to change it, but oh well. We were running a Fusion Pro in my VRD, and my husband had a 1800 SE in the VRD. The difference in performance, not all. Oh, do you know what? I was talking to someone about this. In fact, I was talking to my good buddy Rui about this while we were out. I've dropped one of the screws. Batrazzi's hiding as champs. Yeah, good base. Lisa, yeah, I was having this conversation with Rui while I was out with him the other day, giving these a test. I can tell, like, even the way the truck, we're getting a bit of poof out at the bottom now, which we weren't getting. Yeah, Rui was saying about the 2300. So the 2300 has more tunability apparently in the program card and so on. So you are able to do more to finesse the 2300. Right, we don't need those. Put those over there out of the way. Yeah, they're more tunable. Apparently, there's some more parameters, and you're able to get a bit more finesse. I don't know enough about it to know whether that's 100% or not. Because I mean, this is my second fusion. But yeah, all of this this 2-in-1 brushless is very new for me. Excuse me a sec. I am just gonna reach down. Oh, that's not. My screwdriver's not magnetic. Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure if what he said was correct. I'm probably going to put my head in this shot. Oh my goodness. What's the guy got to do to pick a screw up? But from what he was saying, there's some parameters in there that you're able to tune much more. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of money. So for someone who really wants to geek out and wants to really, so I'm sort of quite happy to maybe just learn a trigger feel or stuff, you know, like people would just be like, oh, I'm going to put some exponential in. When I was flying drones and aeroplanes and stuff, I just be like, I'll just change the way I fly it. You know, I don't really want to delve in as much to that kind of stuff. I would just rather learn to fly. Like, you can't really add exponential, but with muscle memory you get to know a trigger feel and then just drive it slightly differently. But hello Nosy, yo, how are you doing? We're doing air downs. As you can see, I took the Batrazzi Precipice, just bringing Nosy up to speed. I took the currently at work, watching at the moment while storm passes, or we go home waiting on the verdict. Well, good luck if you want to go home, which I can't imagine why you wouldn't. I wish you all the best of luck with that, Nosy. Yeah, so just bring you up to speed. I took the Batrazzi Precipice out, and I'm in love with the profile and the tyre itself. I think it looks fantastic on the vehicle, and I think it'll look really good on like an FCX10 or something, but it weren't squishy enough, and that might be because I took the foam out and I put a silicone insert that was too stiff. It feels a lot better now. We've just got that one over there to do, but while I've got that off, I've also been switching out the hubs. I'm switching out to brass because something LED element does need is a little bit low down weight, and there's no weight added to this vehicle at all at the moment, so we are popping them on as we go along. So what part of the world are you in, Nosy? I can't remember if I've asked this before. If I have, I apologise. In fact, what part of the world is everybody in? I would be interested to find out where everybody's watching from. That is something. Oh, look, it's that animal that I was talking about. She's just come to say hello. We switched to Furitech, Python X and Komodo 2000 kV to save weight. That's a great combo. Same feeling like a Fusion. Settings changeable on the fly Bluetooth. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Furitech, Python X and a Komodo. So the Furitech Python X is the ESC, isn't it? And Komodo 2000 kV is the motor. So yeah, I mean, if I'd have thought about it, I could have probably used an 1800 on here and an 1800 on Spidey there. So yeah, in that same sort of range, isn't it, as the 2000? Yeah. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I'm still taken aback that there's a woman watching my channel. It says so in my YouTube analytics. It says that there are females watching the channel. But I thought maybe it's just men watching on their wives' accounts or something. So yeah, what part of the world are you all from? I think I know where a few of you are from. But I would be interested. I'm just going to grab one of my power packs, guys, because the tablet's dying. I've got a banana in my bag. Right, I have got to leave the room for 2 seconds, guys. Please forgive me. I didn't expect to be running out. I'll be back in a sec. I do not know where I would be without the old trusty power banks. I use these all the time when I'm out filming. And I mean, if it comes to it, I can charge the little 1/18 scale trucks off of it and everything. It doesn't deliver a great deal of power. It's not one of the big expensive ones, but I've got a couple of them and they do get me out of trouble. Right, where were we? I think I'd finished tightening that one down. Yeah, we've got a bit of squidge going on now, guys. I'm going to have to go back to the same woods. For those of you that haven't had an Element Gatekeeper type chassis build, they're really light. I mean, like, maybe because the rigs I've had are really heavy, maybe this isn't really light. But yeah, so I don't know whether I can actually. I probably can't, but the difference between these two now is hopefully visible on the internet. I can definitely feel the difference. So I've just got this one more to do, not long now. What's the time? 7:39, so 8 PM UK time, Mr. Canyon goes live, and I shall be definitely getting off in time to watch that. I'm just going to do this while I've got it, guys. I'm going to switch that onto a brass hex. So I'm in the UK, as many of you will know. It has been the most beautiful day today, and yesterday was also fantastic. I managed to get down to the local park with my favourite human in the world, and we played down the park in the sandpit for hours and hours. It was absolutely glorious, and I was in the shade of a beautiful old tree watching Neo play in the sand and everything. Life was good. And then I went out with my truck, and the Batrazzis deflated me a little bit because I had really high hopes for these. I'd seen them work fairly well in the canyon, and then I got out with them and I was like, oh, I expected them to do better. I mean, there's a lot of wild garlic in the woods at the moment, and there'll be a lot of wild garlic juice on the tyres because we do drive through it. Can you guys hear my phone farting? That ringtone was so embarrassing in the shop when everybody started messaging. I did it at home without thinking about it, and then when I was in the store, it was in my pocket, and I had my hands full of shopping. So I just stood there with fart noises coming from my mid-region. Oh, life. Oh, that's nice. I don't know whether you could hear that as well. I've got a charger just there, and I was storage charging my batteries. I know what I was going to ask you guys. Well, I know what I want to ask you guys. Do you storage charge your batteries? Just so you can see I'm not lying. Look, and if I do the beep beep beep, look, see, 3.8. I've just storage charged it, and I didn't used to do it until my RC stuff came to live at my partner's house. Because I'm over here a lot. I'd be spending hours at home doing this stuff, where I'm not, I'm not around little one and the missus. So I moved all my stuff here. So since I've been living here, not since the staff's been living here, I've been storage charging my batteries. Brian, never, and I like to keep a bunch fully charged. Brian living on the edge. Fair play to you, bud. I always did, Brian, and I've never touched cardboard. I never had a problem. At a local comps, it's just tusks and megalithics. Yeah, I mean, those tyres are like cheat codes, aren't they, Brian? But like, I've really got to watch my own budget right now, and I know there'll be a lot of RC daddies out there that are in the same boat as me that would like to be taking part in the hobby, but just haven't got the budget for the pricier stuff. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. You know, I'm trying to find enough performance to make it fun, without pricing what I do out of, you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm just trying to do that. Stored in bags, and I've only lost batteries when left connected to direct power servos. Right. Oh yeah, because you'd unplug the power system. Look, you'd unplug the ESC, but the servo would still be plugged in, would it? I can't. Oh no, it wouldn't be. Oh yeah, but so you've switched that off. You switched the ESC off, but it's still plugged in. That's what I'm guessing at how it works. I've never had a direct power servo, Brian, so I'm just having to think about it. Amazing tyres, yeah. What are you running, Lisa, on your VRDs? Right, don't let me cut. Don't let me cut. It's got to be cut, miss, cut, miss, cut, miss. I'm trusting you guys to help me stay honest here and not make a mistake. I do. I mean, something about these new silicone inserts. They aren't as good as a properly tuned. These are the broad inserts in here. They're not as good, but they're bloody near, and they're often. Well, they are less expensive. I mean, if you buy it, my mate Rui paid 80 quid for a set of squid inserts from the States. And I don't know whether that's because there was a load of postage or what, but 80 quid for inserts, and then what, 70 or 80 quid for tyres? Right. For what some people pay for a set of wheels, I can build a rig. Sometimes I just forget, or I'm using an adapter for telemetry or such and disconnect the wrong side. So if that ever happens, Brian, do you do what I do And I know you shouldn't do it, and I'm not recommending that anybody does it. Please don't do it. Don't copy me and then end up burning your house down or something. But do you ever jumpstart your batteries, Brian? Is what I'm trying to say. Because I would never do that. And I know for a fact Crawler Canyon would never do that. But do you do it? I bought some $15 C hubs from RC Fox in Germany, and the shipping was 45 quid. Yes, I do. I use a NIM mode. My battery charger, allegedly, is smart enough to know when I'm trying to do that. So, I mean, I would never do that. But I mean, if I did, I would actually use one of my large 3S. Like if it was a 3S battery that had died, I would like parallel connect it. Parallel? No, series connect it. Anyway, I would do the thing where they balance out. As long as they're a similar milliamp, then and C rating. The C rating's quite important as well. Then you can sort of cough one back to life, allegedly. But sometimes they come out puffy. Oh yeah, if they're puffy, they're done, right? Use the balance port charger that come with my 24 scale rig. Running direct power service. So that's an interesting adjunct. Is that the word I'm looking for? So what servos are you guys running? And have you got any servos that you think I should try? As long as they're not stupidly expensive. Like I wouldn't be paying. I don't really want to pay more than 50 or 60 UK pounds for a servo. I'm just going to say that for the type of stuff I do. Like if I was really into the comp stuff and I could afford it, I would probably be happy to pay more. But for me, it's just a trickle charge to get it going. Yeah, my charger's also smart enough to not let me do that for some reason. I think it almost knows when you're trying to burp a charger back together, battery back to life. And it's like, no, go buy another battery. I did it, in fact, to one of these that was absolutely brand new. And I can't remember how I did it. I think I just left it plugged in. And then a week went past and I went to use it, and one of the cells were just completely not registering on the charger and the others were very low. And there it is, it still works. So not sure what somebody did, but they did something and now it works again. I use stupidly expensive servos. Why am I not surprised, Lisa? I've kind of had a feeling that was coming. A lot of I would, but yeah, no, my budget, like stupid money has to be for my small human and all the things that he needs, and then the little bit of money that's left over and any money that I can generate from the channel will go back into the channel. And if I sell a rig, then that rig stays in the channel, that money stays in the channel. So I sell things and I swap stuff about, and that's kind of what pays for all this. I got this, and I haven't fully reviewed it yet, because what I like, things like this I want to use for a little while, but you can't really see it. Maybe if there we go. It's an AK-70. I'm just waiting for the I'm just waiting for the stream to catch up a little bit, and I think you can see it if I hold it like that. So it's a Yeepin servo, brushless AK. It says it's up to 70 kg. Well, I'm not sure about that. It's not direct power, and I have had some issues with brownout. So now I might have got myself into the world of having to have a bloody Beck, which I'll probably mount there if I do, powering it. But I don't really want all that. So I'm in the camp for direct power. I know it's a bit of extra wiring, but I wouldn't mind that. I mean, I would certainly prefer to have direct power than have a Beck system. But I did turn down the dual rate on this. I think I might have been stressing it out a little bit by making it overexert itself. But anyway, yeah, these Yeepin AK 70s, they were £30, and then I got stung for £10 tax, which AliExpress said that they'd refund me because it was supposed to be included at checkout. So, I mean, 40 quid for a servo that's got potential of reasonably decent power. I mean, when I was using this was throwing itself, it was throwing the rear end around like the decent servos will do. So it isn't a very weak servo, we can definitely say that much. I wanted a Forest direct power, low profile servo with 50 plus kg. There's only one, the NSDRC RS700. So how much is one of those? Like, what? Sorry, did you say where you were from? What part of the world you were from? Because I don't suppose it really matters. And if you don't want to say, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, if you don't mind me asking, how much was the NSDRC RS700? I'm familiar with the servo, but I've never looked at the cost. Fantastic servo, yeah. I've seen them in use, so I think it's tunable as well, isn't it? So that's something that's actually programmable as well, isn't it? I think that's the sort of things that you get in when you start to get up in the upper echelons of the servo, right? So in the States, Brian, it's 120. Oh, it's not programmable. Okay. 124 US dollars. So in the UK, then that's around about 105, 110 UK pounds. But then obviously with shipping and packaging and all the rest of it, it could well be 120. I'll have a little look online later. Over 1,000 ounces on 4S. You know, I'm gonna have to try one of these Rhino setups on one of the Rhino ESCs, a V40 or V8. A V40 would probably be enough for what I do. And then run one of these. I'm going to be doing just, moving forward or looking forward, guys. I'm going to be doing a load of these build series. This is my RTR killer. So I had the Gladius RTR, which I bought for review because it had just been released, and I thought it would get content to the chat up on the channel that people were interested in. I am in a phase where I'm trying to get watch time and views, so I thought that might drive some engagement, and I bought it, and then it was all right. Tyres were awful. There was a load of stuff that you needed to throw in the bin, like the motor, ESC, and wheels and tyres all really, really need to go in the bin. So that was indeed a proper ready to replace motor. It's a TRX4 clone, and there's lots and lots of bits that are just not fit for purpose. The shocks were awful. So anyway, that ended up being, I did the maths on it today, it ended up being £608, or thereabouts. I think it was 608. and I totaled up this build today, and it's 475. So a completely custom built with, you know, essentially they're Dravtex, Mias portals, F10 portals. It's got one of the Yippin servos in there. Spidey was £475. It's got stainless steel drive shafts. It's got the F10 portal weights. It's got F10 brass diff covers. Yeah, so I'm trying to give people options. I'd like to see people building their rigs, and then if things go wrong, they've got a good idea on how to fix it. They're not that difficult to build. You know that. I know the people watching this are all builders. All two of you. Actually, one of them's me. All one of you. So yeah. I used the AGFR CSA 86 until I bought the stubby kit for the VRD. I was afraid of the programming of the Rhino Homes ESC, so we bought Furitech. Right, I understand that. I can understand why that would be a barrier for some people. I was building drones and actually designing. I ended up designing my own drones. I actually did some work for the security forces as well, working with drones and stuff. Not the type that kill people, like surveillance drones. So I did a lot of programming stuff. I was programming the AM32 flight controllers and stuff. And I was working on the drones before you had flight controllers with everything built in, ready to go, you know. We were really flying by the seat of our pants back then. Oh, 2 minutes, right, guys? So thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate you, Lisa, Brian, Ian, and anybody else that hasn't. Erwin, Nosy. Thanks, guys. It really, really means a lot. Don't hang about here. Go and watch a proper stream. But please come back when I do this again at some point. It's been lovely having you here. I'm going to get this finished and I'm going to get the stream switched on. I'll see you over there. Bye for now.